Hey guys, and welcome back to Smart Money Minds. Today is December the 5th, 2021, and the market is crushed. But we are going to look at some of the Chinese tech stocks, and I'm just going to go over three that I think have some possibilities of, bouncing back up and are still in a decent uptrend. But in general, Chinese tech stocks are really getting destroyed just due to deregulation, or not, delisting possibilities. We have a possibility of more Chinese government crackdowns. So there's just so much uncertainty, and with the S&P 500 and the overall market tanking, this doesn't help at all with these Chinese tech stocks amidst all this uncertainty. Here I'm going to do a quick review of some of the price targets I'm looking at some of these big names. So what I got here is BABA. Now BABA went from 320 essentially back down to 110, and a lot of people got crushed in this scenario. People were holding or buying dip, and this is why we got to be very careful. Once the trend starts coming down, we can't just go ahead and buy the dip, especially without setting good stop losses that are good risk to reward. People are just buying up and getting bigger and bigger positions, and then what I'm seeing recently on Reddit, on some other threads, is that people are now starting to sell. So that makes me actually interested in seeing if there's an opportunity to buy, because these people are actually hitting the maximum pain that they can handle. And this is the psychology of trading, is when people are fearful, we got to start thinking about, there's an opportunity here. But what I'm seeing here on BABA is there is still a long way to sell, possibly. So we had a couple of support zones that were broken. So the first support zone that was broken long ago was around this $200 range. This got pushed right down with increasing bear volume right over here. This pushed down, and we just basically followed down this 8 EMA, this blue line here, this entire way on the daily time frame. Now, the next level that it broke was around this 130 zone, this double bottom, and that clearly broke with heavy bear volume as well on Friday. So now the next levels that I'm going to be looking at is maybe this 110, 100 zone around this area, but it's not a very clear support zone. But what I do see is a very clear support zone is right around here, this 85 to $90 zone. If you take a look here, this previous 80 now setting resistance, I broke out, came back down. Now this zone looks really promising. So what I could see is it could come back down. The Fibonacci retrace or Fibonacci extension hits to 161 here. So we can start looking for a bounce maybe around the $90 zone when it hits this support level. Now the next name is BIDU, and BIDU is once again not looking very good. Weekly downtrend is intact. We are heading back down. What I'm seeing is maybe more legs down to around this $90 to $100 zone, which is the support zone that I'm seeing here. Because check this out, it came down. This was a resistance level. This was a area of confluence around this range here, 170, 180 zone. It came down, it tried to break back up and hit resistance, and now it's coming back down on a downtrend. So I can definitely see that this could hit down to around this zone before we may get a small bounce. I mean, let's take a look at some of the other stocks. This is TAL. It's pretty crap. DD, look at the weekly downtrend. It had an equilibrium comp, and now it just broke down. We look at PDD getting destroyed here, TME, VIPS, IQ, nothing looks very good. Now I'm going to tell you a couple of stocks that I see that it still looks decently promising. The first one I got here is NEO. Now NEO has a very good support zone right over here, the $30 31 zone. So this support level, it's heading right down to it right now. And we're going to see if we keep this even if you take a look on this monthly possible bull pennant move here, this triangle move here, to see if we can maintain that level. But that's why I have a alert here for myself. I'm gonna try for a entry here, small entry, to see if we do get a decent bounce back up and possibly tighten up in this triangle zone right over here. Now on the daily, we are hitting the lower third Bollinger Band here, third deviation Bollinger Band, and there is a possible volume climax here. You see the increasing bear volume is coming up higher and higher, so we could get a big candle on perhaps Monday or Tuesday, and we get a big bear candle, and that will be the reversal that I'm looking for, at least for a short-term play. Now, let's say I get my entry around 30.50 here, hitting the support zone, and if we get even a halfway bounce back up here, that's a good 20% move on this play back up to around, let's say, the $36 zone right over here, $36, $37 zone. As you see here, that's a decent range right over here where it acted as resistance and support as well. The next stock I'm talking about is XPEV. Now, I talked about XPEV on a previous video where I thought it was going to go up, 40% if we get a decent breakout out of the zone, which it did, but it got clocked because look at this reversal candle here, this bearish engulfing candlestick, and basically the bears took over and broke back down from the zone. Now, why I'm still interested in this one is look at the weekly. We are still in a weekly uptrend. It did come back down, but we haven't confirmed a downtrend yet. It's kind of being stuck between these two zones. Now, if we get a bounce move here, we can definitely see as you see here, this 43, 44, actually this 42 to 44 zone, that's where we're hitting at right now. And even given market weakness, we are only seeing 3 pretty big red days compared to the other stocks, which are in a constant downtrend so far. So this is still in a uptrend. Now this broke the uptrend line that I have drawn here, but there's still a good possibility we get the biggest bounce on this stock here. The last stock I'm going to talk about is JD. JD here, we have a weekly uptrend still intact. As you see here, this is still a higher low, higher high. Let's take a look. Higher low, higher high, or higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Now it's breaking down back down here. However, what I do see here is that this zone here of confluence, which is around the $78-$80 zone, it came down. However, it saved itself. Look at this lower wick here. So looking on Friday, it actually got bought up. This does look like a bear flag, but what I'm thinking is possibly this bear flag going to play out. We might get a gap down or a lower open on Monday here. But we do have another support zone around the $70 to $73 zone. So if the market cooperates, we can head back down here and then see a bounce to maintain this uptrend here if we get this move. All in all, what really sucks is that I had really high expectations for Chinese tech stocks and education stocks and their EV stocks, and there's so much potential there. However, there's just so much uncertainty with the regulations and delisting possibilities and all these negative news that's just driving the market down. And as you've seen in my previous videos, I was really positive about it, but right now I'm just not seeing a positive view except for a handful of stocks that are maintaining their uptrend. You look at stuff like BABA here and it's just tanking and there's no real end in sight. We really have to be careful about trying to get in and trying to buy a falling knife, because if you keep averaging down, you're going to take a huge loss, and that's how you blow up your accounts. Now, in the comments below, let me know what your thoughts are on these Chinese tech stocks. Is there a specific stock you want me to talk about or want me to examine? Let me know in the comments below. Are you still bag holding any of these Chinese stocks? Until next time, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you guys next week.